Yeah, guys, what's up? It's your boy here once again. Talk about SmackDown. I have a SmackDown review. Well, not really a SmackDown review. I'm going to touch a little bit on SmackDown, but what I'm mostly going to be talking about is Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston's has been getting this big, has been getting this big push over the last 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. Um, Fans have been just really, really behind him, and it's interesting to see if WWE will pull the trigger. Going back to the gauntlet match 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, originally that spot was meant for this whole push or whatever was meant for Mustafa Ali. But Mustafa Ali had some nagging injuries. He was injured and was working injured, so they had to pull him out. So they put Kofi in instead. And it's really interesting to see how things have changed. Like, one man's tragedy is another man's opportunity. So from the gauntlet match, Kofi lasted the longest out of anybody in that gauntlet. He gets the Elimination Chamber. He's the last person standing along with Daniel Bryan. Gives Daniel Bryan a go. Showed an excellent performance and had a lot of people believing that he was going to walk out of the Elimination Chamber as WWE Champion. Didn't happen. And we get to the following SmackDown. People are chanting Kofi. They want him there. There's a thing that was going around on the internet. Hashtag Kofi Mania. There was even people even within the industry, like within the wrestling business, were advocating for Kingston, from Xavier Woods, Dolph Ziggler. I'm just mentioning people that I saw on Twitter that were pushing for Kingston. I think Gregory Helms. So there were some key people, talent, like his peers that were actually, I think Rusev was another one as well, that were pushing for Kingston's momentum and his push. And he was supposed to have a one-on-one match with Daniel Bryan at Fastlane, and literally like a week from this coming Sunday. It's funny. It's like how quickly we just left one pay-per-view and about to jump back into another one. But before he can sign his name on the dotted line in the contract signing last night, Vince McMahon comes out and says, we need more of a blockbuster main event for Fastlane, and I guess going into WrestleMania. So, sorry, Kofi, but you're not going to get your title shot. This person's going to get his title shot. And he brings out Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is back. That was awesome. It was awesome for two things. To see a lot of people really chanting and really getting behind Kofi Kingston. And it was also awesome to see how Vince swerved everyone when bringing out Kevin Owens, and the reactions on people's faces. And it's always amazing to me, no matter how much the product or WWE may suck at times, or how watered down the product may be, they always seem to find a way to get a reaction out of people. Always. That's the one brilliant thing about WWE. They're always managed to get you. So that was really interesting. So Kevin Owens signs his name on the dotted line. And until next Tuesday, it's going to be now the match at Fastlane is going to be Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens. Now, I'm not going to count Kingston out, because I was reading today on Facebook from some forums that, according to Dave Meltzer, they threw in Kevin Owens because they're going to. They want to save the Kingston Daniel Bryan match at WrestleMania, and according to him, he believes that Daniel Bryan will have a shot and could quite possibly win the belt at WrestleMania from Daniel Bryan. I think, honestly, it could be a triple threat at WrestleMania. Like I said, I don't know if some people threw out maybe they can make it a triple threat at Fastlane. I don't know, because I mean, we have like one more. We have one more SmackDown before the Fastlane pay per view. So, I mean, they could throw in Kingston, but I definitely think that with Kingston's new found momentum that he's been getting, I don't see them like doing this whole swerve that they did yesterday, and not give Kofi Kingston, not throw him a bone and give him something. I don't buy it. The biggest question coming out of this, though, whether it's a triple threat at WrestleMania or one on one with Dan Bryan or even one on one with Kevin Owens, if Kevin Owens beats Bryan, which actually might be interesting. Give Kevin Owens a quick run with the belt, but Dan Bryan's been good too. I don't know. But anyway, what would be interesting is would WWE pull the trigger? Because let's be honest, and it's an argument that's been made so many times, but I think it's warranted. WWE have never had a black African American, full African American, as WWE champion. They just haven't. I know you get people that will argue and say, well, there was Mark Henry and there was Booker T. They were world champions, WWE. They were the world heavyweight championship. I am talking about the number one belt that has been synonymously linked up and synonymous with the WWE company, and that is the WWE Championship. We've never had a black WWE champion. And a lot of people are going to say, well, what about The Rock? Yeah, Rock is half black. You can kind of throw in The Rock for namesake, but let's be honest. Neither The Rock or WWE acknowledges his African American side. I mean, like, let's be real. They've always publicized Rock and showcased Rock as a Samoan. Yes, they've showed his father, his lineage, Rocky Maivia. Not Rocky Maivia, yeah, Rocky Johnson, his father, Rocky Johnson. But they've always accentuated Rock's Samoan heritage the most. Granted, that's where most of his wrestling legacy stems from, is on his Samoan side, because only his dad was a wrestler. No one on his father's side was a wrestler. But still, you can even go back to WWE Black History Month. Every year when they would always showcase, black wrestlers of the past, or black wrestlers that were champions or world champions in WWE history or wrestling history. Notice, Rock is never in those vignettes. Never. I've seen a Ron Simmons. I've seen Rocky Johnson. I've seen a Booker T. I've seen a Mark Henry, maybe even a Shelton Benjamin at one point a couple years ago. But during Black History Month, when they're celebrating black wrestlers and stuff, they never put Rock in there. You never see Rock. So if that doesn't tell you that WWE does not acknowledge just Rock's African American side, his black side, at that point, I'm going to, go with how they say, and you know what? Rock doesn't really count. So in a time where, I'm not saying like, hey, put the belt on the black wrestler just to put him on there, just to, cater to, diversity and namesake and whatnot. But I mean, you look at the company's history, we've had more Latino wrestlers be WWE champion than we have African American. We've had an Indian WWE champion, but we've never had a black WWE champion. We've had an Irish WWE champion, but never had an African American WWE champion. I think that says something. I think that's a problem. And one can argue and say, well, there hasn't been that many African American wrestlers to, how should I say? There haven't been many African American wrestlers to has personality or has, the charisma or whatnot to be that world champion. Okay. But neither was Gender. Neither was Alberto Del Rio. These guys were WWE champion. There was even at one point, I remember back in like 2009, 2010, WWE were Vince in particular was strongly suggesting on putting on the WWE Championship on Vladimir Kozlov. If they had thoughts about putting the belt on Vladimir Kozlov back in 09, 2010, whatever it was, like, why not Kofi? That's the biggest thing. Now, play devil's advocate here. If Kingston is to be WWE champion, this is just my personal opinion. He's got to change the gimmick. I'm not saying break up New Day or anything like that, but them as a whole, the trio. If Kofi's going to be the champion and he's going to be like the number one guy on the SmackDown brand, they got to change the New Day gimmick. Because I would not be able to take Kofi Kingston seriously as the WWE champion under his current unicorn Lucky Charms gimmick that he has with New Day. Like, I wouldn't. So I think that that's the one thing they need to work on. What they could change the gimmick to, I don't know. I was talking with my buddies yesterday. Maybe they could do like take something from like Black Panther or something, the character Killmonger. Take something like that and like maybe add that to the person. I don't know of anyone using a Black Panther type like gimmick or taking influence from that movie and adapting it to their character right now in the wrestling scene. So that'll be something new and fresh, They might be heels, but do something like a Black Excellence type of like thing where like the New Day, the whole New Day crew, Kingston, Xavier, Big E, they become like Black Excellence. Like they wear black suits. You can have them, even though they'll be heels, but I think it'd be kind of cool. You can have them like actually play into the fact that there's never been a Black or African American WWE champion, and they can say, "Oh, well, Rock doesn't count," and blah blah blah. And for all the reasons that I just mentioned, they could bring that stuff to the forefront of people's minds and actually like mention that and be like, it's us against them. It's the New Day against, the WWE company. Kingston being the champion, I've busted my ass for 11 years for this company. And only now, have I been, the first African American WWE champion, and you can have Xavier and Big E do what they can to help Kingston, keep that title on him and, be like, we're never letting go of this title. They kind of hold the title hostage. Kingston is the champion. He's the rightful champion, but yet they hold it hostage basically because they feel like it's been too damn long and it shouldn't have to have taken, 50 or 60 years for there to be, for him to be crowned the first Black, or African American WWE champion. I think if they kind of do something like that and they turn him heel, a little bit serious, Kofi Kingston's championship reign, if he wins the title, I think it'd be awesome. That'd be interesting. It'd be something fresh. It'd be something new. I know New Day is one of WWE's like top 5, like top merchandise sellers. So turning all of them heel might not be in WWE's best effort. They might not want to do that, but I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be awesome. Turn them heel, make it like a us versus them thing, kind of like a little bit like a Nation of Domination, but different. I think that could work. But in his current form, in his current gimmick or whatever, I seriously cannot take Kingston seriously as WWE champion. But the biggest question is will they pull the trigger? I don't know. I don't know. Because so many times we kind of came close to having, African American WWE champions, and WWE just kind of they screw it over. From Bobby Lashley facing John Cena back at the Great American Bash, Mark Henry facing John Cena, when he did his whole retirement speech. WWE, they've had chances and they've had opportunities, but they never pulled the trigger. So it's interesting to see now. Fans have been advocating this, they've been wanting it. It is kind of like a movement. Um, whether you would consider this, this push of Kingston's to be like flavor of the month type of like thing. Uh, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I will say this. I said it in my Raw review. It's finally feeling like WrestleMania season. For once in quite a while, you don't really know what's going to happen going into WrestleMania. Everything is not really, cut and dry. They're doing some things, some twists and some turns and kind of shocking people and, surprise returns and whatnot. So this could be a good WrestleMania. If they're going the route that I think they might be going, this could be a good WrestleMania this year and probably one of the best ones we've had in a while. But so far, I'm definitely enjoying the journey so far. And once we get past Fastlane, it's full throttle at that point. The Hardy Boys returned together as a team on SmackDown Live. I just read today that the Hardys, it's rumored, it's not confirmed or anything, but because Matt had been saying like his contract was going to expire in 11 days. So he kind of like swerved fans or whatever. But the Hardy Boys are back. And that basically Hardys might be facing, plans could be Hardys versus Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. If we get that, that'd be an awesome match to have on the card. So it's shaping up pretty nicely. From some things, looks like they're kind of the direction they're going in. We don't, like I said, we don't know everything. I like it that way. And once it's said and done, once the card is set, and we come out of WrestleMania, and it's a good show, I will give WWE credit. But for right now, the build is pretty nice. I like where we're going so far on both the SmackDown and Raw brand. It's definitely interesting. Like I said, since this past Monday, it feels like WrestleMania season is finally here now. WrestleMania season. And then once we get past Fastlane next week, it's full throttle to the big show. So, yeah, you guys let me know what you think. Do you agree or disagree with my opinions concerning Kofi Kingston's push? In terms of if he gets it, do you think he should change his character to how I kind of mentioned how I think they probably should change his character? Or do you think he's fine as is? Do you think they will pull the trigger on Kofi Kingston and being WWE champion at WrestleMania? What did you think of the swerve that they pulled last night with Kevin Owens and Kevin Owens coming back? Do you want to see him versus Kingston at WrestleMania and he beats Daniel Bryan? Or would you want to keep it between Kingston and Bryan, or maybe make it a triple threat between the three? Because I don't see Kevin Owens coming back, be immediately inserted into a title match at Fastlane, and he not get a WrestleMania spot. Because if he, say, for example, he loses at Fastlane to Daniel Bryan, where do you take Kevin Owens? I mean, he's just coming back off, I think it was a double knee surgery. So you got to feed him something, give him some momentum going into WrestleMania. So I definitely think Owens is going to be in the title picture still going into Mania. I think this is going to be a triple threat, bar none. But you guys let me know what you think in the box below. Do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button and the notifications. Drop me a like. And again, give me your thoughts on everything that I mentioned here in this video. Peace, guys. Have a good one.